Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European FX crosses, and starting with the US dollar index here. From this particular low here, we've been counting 5 waves up, and the 50-60% retracement level is down here. Currently, we could count this, obviously would be looking for a 3, like an A and a B and a C here, which we actually have here as an A and a B, and nice little 5 waves here for a C wave here. But if this low gets taken out here, then expect the market down here, because we'll be looking at a bigger pattern then. However, if that low stays in place and this high here gets taken out, well, then you can go long there, and you could also short the euro from that there. So if you're playing with the euro, then consider this situation that I've just mentioned here. So looking at the euro, we're looking, I'll just come back into space a little bit here. We've been looking at all of this down here as wave 1, and we were looking for a corrective rally to come into play here. And we were sort of onto it yesterday a little bit, and now it's in sort of full swing here. The 50-60% retracement level is around here, but that kind of depends on where you take it from as well, because you could take it from the high here, or you could take it from here. I kind of feel better about it here, because I feel that this situation here is actually up for 1 here, back for 2 here, then up for 3, 4 and 5 here without this spike here. So I feel like this is the top here, even though I've got it labeled the other way around. But I mean, it can certainly be this situation here. So yeah, I sort of like this top, but we may have to take it from this top here. But yeah, so bringing this back into perspective here somewhat and working that up from the low. So understanding the US dollar index, and if the US dollar index moves straight up from there, well then the mirror image of that would be to be short under this level here, but under this low here. But I think we could get away with, if this high is not taken out here and this market moves back through here, then I think we can look to short it at 127. Say 127 as a retested resistance there, okay, rather than waiting for this low to be taken out here. But it must be a tested resistance. It can't just spike down below it. Do you know what I mean? It's got to kind of spend some time on that. Otherwise, we'll look for a move higher, and so if it doesn't move straight down from here, then we would need to consider this low here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave moving up into this space here, this old high here, a 4th wave and a 5th wave up into here, and then rolling down from that point. So it's more important to count 5 waves in the C wave here than anything else. Okay, so short under the 1.127, or just wait and allow this to roll up there. The next one is the euro pound, and we'd been looking at this as an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and we're looking for this market to continue trending higher through here. Just on the 15-minute chart here, this is coming from that wave 4 here. I've changed the count a little bit, but not, I mean, doesn't, just the labeling a bit. We had this wave 1 here, but this wave 1 here is more suitable. Wave 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 1, and back for 2. All of the third wave, 4th wave here, but this 4th wave could also be in here as well. Not to matter, we're looking up at 74 or just above 74, so you can always use group 1 above, but best to trade to the number and get out. There will be a correction across 74 as an ABC, and then up to 75. If you want to hold, then this is the this is the big kahuna here, the 75 here, because it's kind of a midpoint because it's a 5, but at the same time, it's the next minor level up from 3 on top of group 1. So normally when you find support on top of group 1, which is always 3, then you can always look to 5 from that point. So yeah, nice trade to the upside there. The euro yen, now we'd basically we understood that this move as an ABC through here is corrective, and then we were looking for 5 waves down, 3 up, and then down into the 3rd wave. So obviously this is going to be this here is going to be the trade that we'll be looking for, getting in over here with a short stop over here on this side over here. So we're counting 5 waves down here. Okay, so what we can see here, you can see this a little bit rough, but we've got wave 1 here in here, so we can sort of forget about the spike to some degree. Wave 2 here, and then this obviously looks like a wave 4 in here, doesn't it, and a wave 5 here. Now there may be another little move down here, but what we're really waiting for is we want to see this ABC correction here, and it may not come up to the whole 50-60% of the whole move down through here. It may just sort of come back into this block of supply here and fail from that point, and that's something that we'll look at on the, where are we, 2 hours, so 15-minute chart here. It was a little bit sort of tricky through here as such, but it's all sort of panning out quite nicely. So the sharp move down here really helps us nail in wave 5 here. Now, it's a little bit, currently, if that is the low, then the market's currently moving up quite nicely. Otherwise, if it's going to fail at this old high here and move down as an A and a B and a C wave here, because I'm just sort of looking here. I don't know I don't know how to resolve this in the best way. You know, I don't know which should be the top here. So it's possible that we could actually have another wave down from this point here, but yeah, the main game really is just been waiting for this wave 2 to come into play, and you know, it should be significant because we're correcting all of this down here. So from down here, we're looking for a move back and then down again. So I wasn't quite sure where the low should be here, and there could certainly be another low coming into play here. So I'm sorry about that. I'm just a little bit unsure, but what I thought I'd do is just watch this little move up. This is just the 5-minute chart here. So what I could say is that I was thinking that this here is a nice 5-wave structure off the low here. So this can be wave 1 and wave 2 here. Okay, so if this gets taken out, then, well, in fact now, if this one gets taken out, because this would be up for 1, back for 2 here, or wave B here as well. So this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we'd need to see that. In both cases, this should move up to there. So that would give us an ABC. So the A wave, B wave, and then 5 waves in the C wave here, like that. So that could be the top of it. It's going to correct back at this stage anyway, because this could be the top of the 3rd wave, or the wave C here, and fail from this point and move down. If it moves to here, then it's wave 4 here, and then we'll see this market it will have its correction for wave 4 and then move up from this point. So it still needs to basically move up. So I think that I mean, the other side of this is complicated, so I'll just focus on this here. Wave 4 should break this trend line here too, by the by. And yeah, let's just observe this here for the time being. There's plenty of other trades to get along with that are clearer as such. So the next one is the cable, and this just back to the daily chart here, just to point out that this has got, you know, potential to move down a long way, and we've been trying to find out the this move down through here. We've been looking at it in terms of just on the 2-hour chart here. Where are we? There we go. So from the high here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Now, I was looking for this A, B, and C here. I was looking for a bigger one to come back over here, but it's just not shaping up, is it? So I'm not quite sure what to do. I mean, basically, you have to be a little bit careful, because what you see here is not what you get over here. I mean, we're going into group 1 here, so it's going to be pretty bouncy around here. But that said, we're going from wave 2 here into a series of wave 3s here. So we're in orange wave 3, we're in this wave 3. So there's still further, I mean, there's further to go down, there's no doubt about that. It's just about managing the risk and where the entry and the stop's going to be. So I'm not quite sure. I just don't, I mean, this little A, B, and C here for wave 2 just seems a little bit small, you know, for this whole move here. Maybe it's the case, and we've got, you know, down for 1, back for 2, down for 3 happening here, 4 and 5, and keep tumbling down here, cascading down. I just don't know. You know, I've sort of been over it and over it on the 15-minute chart here. I mean, it's such a nice, clean, clear 5-wave structure down from the high here, 1 and 2, and nice 3rd wave down here, the 4th and the 5th. You know, so maybe this is the A wave and B wave and C wave here for wave 2, and now we're starting down again. The other thing that I mentioned yesterday, which thought come into play, is that, you know, maybe from, you know, maybe in here somewhere we've got it's wave 4 could be here. Maybe we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5. Maybe it's finishing down into group 1 here, because 153, 3 is the top of the group 1, so I'll be expecting a bounce here. We can see that it's getting a bounce here, but at the same time I can still see it wants to move lower through here as well. So I don't know. I can't give a clear path on it where to put the I mean, if you shorted it here, you might get lucky and it could move down, but realistically the stop's still really got to go back up here, which is so far away. It's not really, you know, not sort of worth it. I mean, it's worth it if you're going to play the long game, you know, to go, you know, way further down. Then it becomes a different, you know, different strategy altogether. But I mean, the other point here too is that, you know, we've seen this move down like quite quickly here, right? So and now we're seeing a whole basically seeing the ball bounce. So we're seeing it slow down here. So we haven't really seen that correction yet. So we'll just wait a little bit further, and we'll just see how this finishes off here, and see if we can get a move back up here, something we can get our teeth into. The next chart is the pound yen. So this was all the yens were doing much the same as stocks were doing in terms of a wave 3 and an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and this is rolling over. So we can look at this coming down to 180, but it's going to slow down and bounce around a bit in here. So you could line this up with the stock market as such. So the S&P 500 and the DAX and the FTSE and so forth. The next one is the US yen. Once again, here just on the 15-minute chart here, we were looking at this as a and a B and a C here. As you note from yesterday, I wasn't looking for one more little high to come in here, but obviously that's not the case. And it's just turned one wave quicker, so apologies about that, but it certainly made a start now. So in that regard, from wave 4 here, we're looking down for wave 5. We could expect an ABC to come into play here, and then down for wave 3 here, Wave 4 will play out in group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80 in here, and then move down from that point there. So we expect this low to be taken out here. Okay, so there's great potential here, and we can look to find a way into short from here, probably using the 120 sort of area here. So if we see this come down here for the wave 5 here, then the corrective move back here, and then locking under here as a retested resistance here. So coming back up here, and even if it goes higher up here, at some point, at some point you need that reference point here that's under here, so you can set it up that way. Otherwise, you can shorten just to leave the stop out of the way up here somewhere. It shouldn't move back above that high there. If it does, then obviously something's wrong from that point. All right, well that's it for the European crosses. Cheers.